speaking of down and dirty, let's talk. I just really want to hear it. Okay. So I want you guys' review.
Uncharted? You want to start with Uncharted?
Yeah. All right. Just dive into it if you're ready for it.
Yeah. Okay, of course. So, I've always said that I didn't think I want to play this game because it doesn't have any of the characters that I like. I was never a fan of Chloe.
Right. That's all Bryce.
Right.
Me too. Chloe too.
I wasn't a fan of Nadine in Uncharted 4 because I've said this to people and they agree with me. Here's what it felt like. Uncharted 2, we had Lazarevich, who was the big heavy. You can't do anything to hurt him, you can't take him down. And it felt like they were like, well, we need a heavy character. Okay, cool, let's write this character. Here's the heavy. And then it felt when they were developing this game, it was at the same time that everybody was complaining about diversity in video games. And it really felt like, let's make the heavy a woman. We can do that, why not?
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. And that has no bearing on the writing. And actually, no, it does have all the bearing on the writing of the character and the portrayal of the character. There was nothing to her other than she was a badass. And that's fine with me, but there was nothing to sink my teeth into to either care about or hate her. Nothing in Uncharted 4.
I think I only hated Uncharted 4 because I wanted to fucking beat her ass.
Right.
It's like, you bitch.
But there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And it
felt like there was nothing redeeming about her.
And it really felt like, and they can't even say, well, this was the plan the whole time, because they've even said, yo, we started this DLC and it turned in to a monster on its own. So there's no way they had this plan for the Nadine character at all.
Didn't seem like it.
Maybe for the Chloe character, but not for Nadine at all. So I just didn't like that there was two characters, and I told Bryce, I was like, I don't think I'm going to play it, and if I do, I'll get it from Redbox or something, and I'll power through it in a night. And that's essentially what I did, is I played it like in one sitting.
So you did get it from Redbox?
I got it from GameFly, actually.
Oh, GameFly, okay.
Yeah. So I played through, I think it was maybe 2 sittings. Yeah, it was 2 sittings.
I think it was 2.
I stopped as soon as you get to, after the big open area, when you finish that, so chapter 6. So you finish that, you go through this thing, and it's like, is there anything else you want to do in this area? Because you're leaving now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll leave now, but I'm going to stop here, and I'll finish this last chunk, tomorrow. Everybody's like, oh, it felt like the length of the first Uncharted. No, it was like 5 hours, maybe 5 hours. It might be more, but I didn't do all of the collecting in the open area. I didn't get all the medallions.
I didn't get all of them. I did a little bit.
I found 3 or 4 just by happenstance. So that's all I did. I didn't go back out and search. But yeah, the game opens real strong. In India, in the shop areas, it opens really strong, and I was like, okay, cool.
Was it the gameplay that we saw in the?
No, this is before that.
Okay.
This is right before that. But okay, before we go into that, overall, I came away really enjoying the game I played.
Good.
How did you feel when you were done?
Yeah, same thing. I think what I came away impressed with is that I felt like they did such a good job of Nadine and Chloe. On paper, you tell me that, I'm not expecting to enjoy their banter and all that stuff. And I already like Chloe. Yeah. And then Nadine the whole time, I was just like, is this the same fucking girl? So I enjoyed the experience a lot. I liked it. It felt like I was getting more Uncharted. Yeah. That's what it felt like.
So when it started, and after that opening sequence, and you get to the stealth section area, and Chloe starts making all the quips, I'm like, I said it out loud. I was like, these just sound like throwaway lines that they didn't have Nathan Drake say. That doesn't feel like anything special. Chloe's character was never like this. Yeah. So it just didn't make sense, and it felt so disjointed.
Okay.
And even their banter, when you can click triangle and you can hear the conversations back and forth, that stuff felt great.
Yeah.
But their banter while on the run felt so forced and so throwaway. Here's some throwaway lines from Uncharted 4 we didn't use with Sam and Nate.
Yeah, I see that.
But there's a point, and for the first 2/3 of the game, because of that, I kept thinking, this would be so much better if this was just Nate and Sam, or Nate and Sully, or Sam and Sully. This would be so much better. But, so spoilers, Rick.
Yeah, I'm fine with spoilers.
Spoilers, everyone. By the time Sam shows up, I was like, oh, you didn't need to fucking do that. But that's the way they completely flipped me.
Yeah.
To where I was okay. This is just added shit we didn't need now.
Yeah.
So that's about 2/3 through the game. So by the time he showed up, I had already become invested in these two characters, and
I'm glad.
it was really well done. And then there's another sequence where when Nadine finds out Sam is there, she turns around and punches Chloe.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking face.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would hear myself say this. I went, "You fucking bitch." And I was like, "Wait a minute, I actually care about Chloe now." This is great because they wrote Chloe completely differently. She was a sympathetic character rather than a character that was just using her sexuality to get further. And that's the way I felt she was in 2. Yeah. And it was more subdued in 3 because 3 was more of a buddy road movie game. Yeah. So it didn't focus on her. But 2, the focus was all on her and her sexuality. And I just felt like that was a step backwards for a female character in an adventure game. Yeah. And I think they did it right in this game to the point where I was like, "God, Nadine, you fucking bitch," when she punched Chloe. Yeah. Like, if you would have talked to me 6 hours beforehand and you told me that Nadine punched Chloe, I'd have been like, "Fuck yeah," because I just didn't like her character at all. Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have different opinions because I've always liked Chloe. I don't disagree with the sexuality thing. I think you're right. I've always liked her banter with Nate though. Like, you know, I like, and so with this, I think maybe it isn't so much that she was written differently, although she was, but I also think it was the most Chloe we've ever had ever. You know what I mean? So it was the most time we've ever spent with her. So of course it kind of feels different, and you see some more nuances to her character.
Yeah. Because 2, she was an antagonist. And they flip-flopped her back and forth, so you never really got a chance to get invested in her. Yeah. 3, she was a piece of an ensemble, so they didn't focus on her really. Yeah. And she wasn't in 4 at all. They mentioned her in passing, and that was it. But yeah, they did a great job of making her a character that I care about now.
She didn't need to be in 4, in my opinion.
No.
She needs to be in every game. I like her. I like her character. I missed her in 4. Not saying that she needed to be, but I would have liked for her to have been there.
Like a cameo, something.
Yeah, something. But yeah, man, like I just came away with this because I didn't give a fuck about Nadine, and I actually like found myself forgetting what Nadine was even like in 4. Cause I'm like, this is Nadine. Yeah. Like, really? Like she's.
I like that it was post 4.
Yes.
Which
how much further out after this was?
They don't say.
They don't really say.
Which I love. It's not like 6 months later, which is something I can't stand in movies and video games. So it was just like
some time had passed.
4, she had already had her problems with Nate and Sam. That story is completely finished, and because of her inability to stop Nate and Sam or collect any treasure, she lost her company, the private military company.
Oh, that's right.
So that's how far. So it's not. It could be next day for all we know, but they do a good enough job of telling you, "Yo, this is after Uncharted 4," without saying, "Hey guys, this is after Uncharted 4."
Exactly. Yeah.
I like the subtlety.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's really good, dude. I mean, as an Uncharted fan, I think you should play it.
Yeah, you definitely should play it. Like I said, I kept thinking for the first 2/3 of the game, man, I just wish this was Nate and Sully or Nate and Sam or Sam and Sully.
Because you're right, you could hear them saying this stuff. I mean, it was kind of, but at the same time, like I don't know, it was still good though. Like I had the same thought. It's like it could have been Nate and Sully.
And my favorite part when Sam shows up is the banter where he's talking and they just completely fucking ignore him like he's not there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have a rope. He's like, well, that's your problem.
Yeah.
We have to find another way up then. And then, like, there's a sequence where you have to push a bunch of heavy shit around, and you would expect them to kind of divert and have Sam do that because he's the male character. But instead, he's the one just going, yeah, I'll just wait and let you guys finish that. Like,
yeah, it's good stuff, man. Especially because, you like Chloe. I actually thought you didn't like Chloe.
No, I like Chloe.
Okay, so you like Chloe, and then, by the end, you come around on Nadine, so...
And the last little sequence, when they're back at the shops in India with the little girl, and they're eating pizza, I was like, wait a minute, she can't fucking eat pizza. She can't have cheese. Milk, cow, they can't...
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, wait a minute, and they never explain, like, oh, is that, like... Not actual cheese or what, but like just that was the thing that stuck out to me.
I think you need to write in and ask. Hey, what's the deal? What kind of cheese?
Yeah, because seriously,
it didn't cross my mind. That's funny.
But like all the stuff with Sam, could be. That's what Alexa said. She goes, maybe it's goat cheese. I said, well, then they need to fucking say that.
And at that point, the whole game fell apart for Mike, and he gave it 1 star because
that's 1 star
fucking
now.
didn't explain the cheese.
Also, the bad guy in this game is the first bad guy that, as the person playing the game, I actually felt threatened by.
Yeah.
No other villain in the history of the Uncharted series have I ever felt threatened by the bad guy. There's points where I actually felt like, oh, this guy's just going to get away. And that's what they're going to do to spin off and do another game. Like, I honestly feel like it was a waste of that character in this game. Because that character was so good. And like I said, I actually felt like odds were insurmountable at points against this guy. Because of the way Nadine talked about him when he wasn't even on screen.
Yeah.
That never happens in an Uncharted game.
So let me throw something out there, and this just popped in my head just now, so I can't say, and I don't want it to be controversial. But do you think? Because I felt that way a little bit too, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any part of it where subconsciously maybe we felt more threatened because we were women?
I don't.
Especially
think so.
when we're fighting him.
No, I think, like I said, it was the portrayal of the character, and every time Chloe would try to dismiss him as the evil bad guy, Nadine would be like, "Yo, don't sleep on him. Stop fucking around.
Yeah.
This is legit." And and then hearing that from Nadine, who was the insurmountable odds in the last game, made you feel the tension from that character.
Nadine is so different in this game, dude. Like, she feels so different. It's crazy.
She feels like an actual character, and not just, hey, look, we made our bad guy woman.
Yeah.
I never felt threatened by Rafe. In 3. In 2, I never felt threatened by Lazarevich because he always kept throwing people in front of him. So it's like, well, this guy's obviously a big pussy. He's going to be easy to take out. And then in part 1, I never felt threatened by Eddie because all he did was talk shit. So I never felt threatened by any of these bad guys at all. And this one, like I said, I really felt like they went out of their way to write this villain as a fucking villain.
They did a good job with him.
Yeah. Really good job.
Yeah.
I really dug it. There could have been, and I know this is probably a gripe you'd have too, there could have been more puzzles.
Yeah.
Because the ones that were there were way too easy.
Yeah.
There was nothing like in 2 or 3 where I'm like having to consult my book and see like, okay, this is facing that way, that's facing that way. Like that whole sequence in 4 with the paintings is so fucking good. And it's like, I wanted more of that.
Me too.
As puzzles. And then I guess the only other thing is, it's not a knock at all, but like once you get to that open area and you're climbing stuff, it's like, oh yeah, this is a fucking Uncharted game.
Yeah.
Like, but that's not necessarily a gripe at all. But it's like, oh yeah, this is Uncharted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'll take more puzzles any day. Some of my favorite parts of Uncharted, like the puzzles or like getting just the exploring.
Yeah.
Even just that. And then the game had it.
There's the one with Ganesh with moving the arms and all that stuff. That was, and the lights, like that was like the only meaty puzzle sequence. And that's the bad thing, is it was the only meaty puzzle sequence.
I kind of like the one too where we had to get to the other side, and so when we jumped to stuff though, like there like things could come and like. Yeah. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did some cool stuff with the puzzles, but yeah, I'll always take more puzzles and stuff.
But you know, all in all, man, this.
So you enjoyed it, right?
Is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like it felt like Uncharted. And the thing I really liked is there was combat, but I didn't feel like I needed to use the combat ever. There's a couple of sequences where it's like, oh, you got to push forward here. And there's like maybe 3 of them that way. Yeah. But there's a big battle sequence in the open area when you're trying to escape that you don't even have to fucking engage with those people. Yeah. You could just take off. And that felt so good. Because that's a gripe you and I always have, is there's too much fucking combat in these games.
It doesn't need it.
It doesn't.
No.
The storytelling, the characters, the writing, the puzzles, everything, that's what holds that franchise up. Not its gunplay. Not that it's bad.
No, it's not.
But it always just feels like there's way too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like there was the perfect balance. It could have had a little bit more puzzles and a little bit more exploration, but
I agree with that.
But other than that, man, like it was just fun swinging from fucking cliff to cliff and.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't steer you wrong, because I know I told both of you like, you guys should play this game. So I'm glad you played it and weren't disappointed. You should too.
I put it in. I was like, all right, here we go. I'm just gonna power through this. And then like when I got done with that open sequence, I was like, all right, I need to marinate on this, and then we'll get back to it.
So yeah, I tried to savor it. I mean, I definitely did a good chunk of it the first day, and then I started playing in little bursts. Like sometimes one time I played for like a half hour, and then I stopped.
And the final sequence on the train, and it's like another one of those moments like, oh yeah, there's a fucking Uncharted game.
Yeah.
But in Uncharted 2, when you hit that train sequence, that felt like Naughty Dog throwing their dick on the table going, people want to complain about the PS3 in development, look at this shit.
Yeah.
And that train sequence was way too long. It was fun, but
really
in 2,
long.
it's way too long. This one is absolutely perfect length.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well done.
And there's a lot of little things that happen during it that kind of
Yeah.
change up the pace, change what's going on. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff.
And it's just there's something satisfying about the final battle being like a fucking fist fight,
Right.
just brawl.
Like Metal Gear Solid 4,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
It's just something
It's
so
just
satisfying
I like
about
it.
that.
Well, didn't the first Uncharted?
No, it was quick
a little
time.
bit.
It was quick time events.
Oh, it was quick time
bullshit
events?
quick time
Oh,
events. You end up knocking Eddie off or whatever, but it was terrible. That was the worst.
I need to. I have still never played replayed any of the Uncharted games.
Really?
Yet. I have it. I just haven't done it yet. I need to do it.
I played through 1, 2, and I got all the way to the Lost City in 3 before 4 came out, and then I was like, "Fuck this! I gotta play 4."
Yeah, of
I
course.
did 1 and then some of 2.
Yeah. So I would love to go back and finish 3. But yeah, I bought the Uncharted collection just because I wanted to do that again.
Yeah, and those are games. You guys have heard me on the show profess my love to Uncharted.
Yeah.
I have to own that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, man, I loved it. Rick, you really do need to play it.
Yeah, I'm definitely
And,
gonna play
like,
it now. Your
you know,
guys' review has swayed me.
It's December 16th,
Not
and
that I
you've
need to
only
be
played
swayed.
like one game this year.
More
So
than one
maybe
game.
you should go to Redbox and grab it and play it. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna be heavier on the movies while you're heavy on the games
Yeah.
for sure. Because I've played stuff, but I still haven't played as much as I should. I've been Rick with games the way he is with TV shows,
Yeah.
starting and then stopping and not getting back to them.
But I'm at a point now where there's like 10 games on my list. Where I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you've done a lot. You've played a shit ton of games.
So yeah, and I didn't start that way this year. Like I just kind
Yeah.
of picked up like around September. I was like, I gotta do this. But yeah,
I'll
Uncharted-
hopefully start getting to play it more soon enough. It's hard with so
Yep.
many people in one room. So
Lost Legacy is completely worth it. Is
Cool.
it 30? Is it 30 or 40? 40?
It's $30. I think it was out on
40?
sale for 30.
Yeah.
it might have been new. It might have been $39.99. I
Yeah.
think that might have been what I got it for. But I think the prices went down.
Yeah.
I won't say that that's too much for it because I don't think it is. It's a great experience and it's
Yeah.
a polished game. But myself, I wouldn't have paid $40 for this.
I don't think I mean, I got it for free.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I just wanted it.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
What would you like to do now, Rick?
I see.
Should we get into Fox and Disney?
Okay.
Jump a little back and forth.
Yeah, for
Jump
sure.
the lines.